Man Hoops presented by KFC and at McKale Center in Tucson tonight. You kind of feel it's got that big game buzz to it, as it has so often for a quarter century of basketball excellence here. So many tremendous non-conference games at McKale Center, and that's the case again tonight as the Arizona Wildcats host the defending national champion Kansas Jayhawks. It's part of the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series. And for Arizona, their 7-3 start has been fueled in large part by the vastly improved play, Marcus Johnson of Jordan Hill.
Well, Ted, that's because he has put in the work. He attended the Amari Stoudemire Skills Institute, getting an advanced degree in dunkology. Can also face you up and knock down a medium-range jumper, and it's going to snow in Tucson. He's knocking down free throws 79% over the last 3 games.
But we have 2 big men tonight that are averaging double-doubles so far this year. Sophomore Cole Aldridge having a breakout season.
Well, a direct benefit of playing against Darrell Arthur, Darnell Jackson, Sasha Khan. Last year, battling him every day in practice, they have turned him into a tough physical basketball player who leads his conference in free throw percentage at 87%. He's got the unorthodox behind the head Jamal Wilkes-like jumper that is tough to get to, and great lateral quickness pursuing offensive rebounds. Just a terrific player, Cole Aldridge.
Well, of course, the story for Kansas this year, 5 of their top 6 players from the national championship team were drafted. The only returnee, Sharon Collins, and a young but very talented team, including point guard Tyshawn Taylor. For Arizona, it's the 3 big juniors, Hill, Budinger, and Wise. St. Johnson, though, good shooter, gets a start tonight, Marcus.
Yeah, it's an awful small lineup. So the Wildcats had 19 rebounds their last time out against UNLV. They've got to do the job on the boards because this Kansas team is deep and athletic.
Well, Kansas, this is their first road trip of the season. Arizona proved their mettle with a huge win against Gonzaga 10 days ago. And another part of their start this year, a much improved play from a good player who's in your spotlight tonight.
Yeah, we're going to spotlight. The Marcus spotlight is going to be on Chase Budinger. Now, Chase Budinger had 22 points against Las Vegas with just 5 rebounds. He wasn't as engaged offensively as he's going to need to be. So we're going to keep a close look on Chase and make sure that he keeps his head into the game and shows what kind of player he has the potential of being.
And when we saw Arizona beating Gonzaga 10 days ago, Marcus, the big thing, we saw Chase Budinger on the floor.
Defensively, he was in the game. He was really in this game, and he's got to be in this game against a very good and athletic Kansas team for Arizona to have the chance to win this evening.
Michael Reed is the lead official. Mike Cyphers and Ruben Ramos working. Arizona, the home team in white. They are 7-3, 4-1 here at McKale Center. And for Kansas, this is their first true road game of the year. The only time they've left Allen Fieldhouse, they played 2 games an hour away in Kansas City.
Already Tyshawn Taylor just shadowing Nick Wise, trying to keep the basketball out of his hands. Morningstar doing the same thing on Chase Budinger. Make some of these role players have to beat you.
Nice.
Oh, dunkology.
Yes.
101.
But you know what? The setup steps are pretty sweet, too.
Well, and the fact that he's able to knock down medium-range jumpers. Now you've got to respect that shot. Little shot fake. Nice job. Great.
Terrific interior pass by Cole Aldridge to one of the freshman twins. It's Markieff Morris.
Yeah, Marcus Morris had been starting, but Markieff got to start the last game, and they really love the way he has picked up his level of intensity out on the floor. But that's Cole Aldridge has a lot of different talents. Passing the basketball from the high post is one of them.
There's an aggressive hedge on the ball screen, and Aldridge draws a quick foul.
Little Exmo action here as we're going to see the up fake and the blow by Jordan Hill. And then at the other end, just real poor kind of backside defense on the part of the freshman Cal Fogg. The loose contact with Markieff Morris.
So Aldridge, a minute of play, picks up a quick foul, is out of the game on the drive there. Wise, ball ends up in Kyle Fogg's hands.
They try and pump it into Aldridge's another.
And look at that. So they've beaten Arizona back down the floor a couple of times.
Well, and that's what happens. Now you got Zane Johnson, Kyle Fogg on the floor, 2 guys who are used to playing out on the perimeter. You know, one of these guys has got to protect the basket. Jamelle Horne usually is the starting 4-man, not in the lineup. He protects the cup. These guys are not used to doing it, but they've got to change their mode of thinking.
It's full, or just about full here at McKale Center tonight, even without the students. That's a great sign. It's 2 nights before Christmas. And that cut. Ball goes out off Marcus Morris. So the twin brothers for Kansas, freshmen from Philadelphia, are playing together. They haven't done much.
Yeah, no, they haven't. But here's Chase Budinger just trying to free himself up. He's going to have to do that. They're going to need him to score 20 to 25 points, I believe, in this game, based on the way Jordan Hill will be played and the defense he's going to see this evening.
So there's Hill with a clean look. Marcus Morris rebounds, and Tyshawn Taylor, freshman point guard.
Marcus is more of the three-man, the outside shooter, the long-distance bomber when he's got a pretty decent look. Markeith Morris, 6'9", 240, the inside guy.
An aggressive defense there. Zane Johnson of Arizona picks up the foul. Well, here's the defending national champions, Marcus, playing their first real road game of the year. Bill Self has 3 freshmen on the floor here in the opening minutes.
And it says it's unpredictable, just kind of emotional approach they're going to have from one game to the next. You never can get a good read, and that's one of the challenges this season.
There's the good ball movement. And Taylor knocks down a 3 on the right wing.
Tyshawn Taylor out of St. Anthony's High School in New Jersey. Played for legendary Bobby Hurley Sr. He's a good one. 2-time Big 12 Player of the Week.
Travel. Turnover sends it back to Kansas.
2-time Big 12 Freshman of the Week already, and season is still early.
And Russ Pennell, the interim Arizona head coach, already getting going, pacing up and down that sideline. Arizona lost, as Marcus referenced, they lost Saturday at UNLV. There's a great cut to the basket by Marcus Morris. So 3 layups / dunks already for Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, and a little screen action on that play, but once again, just bad defense on the part of Arizona. I mean, I know you got the small lineup on the floor, but step up, take a charge, plug the gaps. You got to do something. I mean, they're just waltzing into the paint without any resistance whatsoever, Kansas is.
Markeith Morris getting up tight, so Jordan Hill spins him in the lane. Marcus Morris triggers to Collins. And Jordan Hill back with a block. That'll go out of bounds off. Let's see, it could be off Budinger. It'll be Kansas ball.
Little screen here. Now watch the roll right down the paint by Morris, and a great job by Shawan Collins to find the high man on that high-low. Now that's high-low, kind of misdirection high-low.
So Arizona trying to crack themselves up. This is what they did well against Gonzaga. Aggressive trapping defense, Marcus.
Yeah, and then Kansas does a great job of that, and that's one of the trademarks. And also the kind of kids that Bill Self likes to recruit. Talking to Curtis Townsend, his assistant coach, who does an outstanding job. And he loves those Chicago, Philly, tough-minded kids. Come out and just battle you and don't back down from anything. And he's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, he's got 2 Phillies, a Jersey, and a Chicago on the floor right now. There's the Jersey kid, Hoboken, New Jersey. Tyshawn Taylor, 10 straight for Kansas.
Yeah, and a Jersey kid that played for Bobby Hurley at St. Anthony's, one of the most storied, successful programs in the history of high school basketball.
Jamelle Horne off the bench with a long rebound.
And a must-read for all you book fans out there. Miracle at St. Anthony's. Just a great book about one of the many undefeated seasons of Bobby Hurley at that school. Arizona gets a little bigger with Jamelle Horne on the floor.
You see the shots for Arizona, not easy shots. Right?
Contested. Just a terrific job of contesting shots on the part of the Jayhawks. Shawan Collins hasn't even gotten started yet. He's just allowing the game to come to him, and the bigs have done all the damage here early.
Good ball fake, and Collins got the lane. Horne rebounds Arizona. Kansas at 5 of 7 to start the game. Budinger. Boy, that Jordan Hill was in there, but that ball hit the rim one extra time.
And Morningstar, nice job of closing out on Budinger. Budinger thought he had a pretty open look, but Morningstar with a quick closeout.
Marcus Morris got a very flat arc on his shot, air ball, and here's Arizona back, but the Wildcats only 2 baskets in nearly 5 minutes. Clear out for Hill. Horne to the top. That's 2. That'll help hugely for Arizona if they can get something from other than the big 3.
Yeah, and Jamelle Horne, he's going to have that shot because they're going to double team Jordan Hill on the box off of Jamelle Horne. He is the guy that they feel like has got to prove that he can knock down that outside shot consistently.
Wide open inside. I mean, just nobody near Markeith Morris.
Way too many open gaps in this zone defense of Arizona. 2-2 zone defensive alignment that kind of morphs into a 2-3. But you've got to plug the middle and force this team to shoot over the top.
There's another good chance. These young guys look like they've been well schooled, and look at the hustle by Markieff Morris.
We saw how they were attacking at their shoot around. They wanted to flash a man middle, swing the ball weak side.
That's 3 Horne. So Jamelle Horne trying to fire up the home crowd. A 2 and then a 3 to get Arizona back with a 3.
Jamelle is giving this club a nice boost. Did not start the game. Zane Johnson, the shooter. Arizona came out awful small.
Ooh, Sharon Collins. Long rebound Horne. We've got a long way here without a whistle.
Which is a good thing for me. I love it.
Kids love it.
Let them play. Let them play. It's a great intersectional game between these two storied programs, Arizona, Kansas. Let them play.
And again, you hear the crowd. This is terrific given the fact school's out. Hill hits 7 straight now as Arizona.
Little flare screen, pick and pop. Jordan Hill. You got the pick and roll with the big man cuts to the basket. That time, little pick and pop, and that's where Jordan Hill has really improved. Knocking down mid-range jump shots.
And Marcus, this is what makes this a great basketball venue as it has been for 25 years in the West. I mean, this is no school in session. Students are gone, and look at this atmosphere in here. Listen to it.
And it's affecting Kansas. Kansas appears to be, with their youth, a little rattled.
And that's the first Kansas turnover, so we go almost 7 minutes before the first timeout. Pac-10 Hoops presented by KFC at McKale Center in Tucson, and joining us tonight, welcome into Michael Eve. Michael?
Ted, glad to be back with you and Marcus for another season. You know, when you look at the Kansas Jayhawks, they will be referred to as the defending national champions until they lose their final game of the season. But this team is completely different than the team that won that title. 5 NBA draft picks, including Brandon Rush, who was drafted in the first round by the Pacers. Darrell Arthur went to the Memphis Grizzlies. He's getting a lot of minutes for the Grizzlies. Mario Chalmers, the second-round draft pick of the Miami Heat, but he's started some games this season. Darnell Jackson was drafted by Miami, but traded to Cleveland. He's on the Cavaliers roster. And Sasha Khan, also drafted in the second round by Seattle, traded to Cleveland, where right now he's playing overseas. They lost 6 of their top 7 scorers from last season. A completely different team. They may be defending national champions, guys, but maybe in name only.
Michael, you're right. They're young, but you know what? They're good.
And it's something that you can never take away from Bill Self, who told us he's watched that championship game tape against Memphis, what, 50 times?
50 times. How about that? Alex Jacobson in for Arizona. Rebounds Butler's miss. Butler 0 for 3 now.
And Cole Aldridge back in the game. I thought Bill Self, you know, they want Aldridge to not commit those quick, early, cheap fouls. He did that. They pulled him out.
And how about Horne? Well, this is going to be huge, Marcus. And then if Arizona can get contributions from Jamelle Horne, Kyle Farm, people like that.
And Russ Pennell, I don't know if he sat Jamelle Horne down just to get him focused, to get his mind right once he got in on the floor. Whatever he did, it's worked. Jamelle Horne has really responded.
Taylor got baseline. Jamelle Horne is playing. He's playing the way Arizona played in the Gonzaga game.
Super active.
Yep. And there's a reach-in on Sharon Collins of Kansas. So after a long stretch of play, we get another quick break. Pac-10 Hoops is presented by KFC. One great taste, 2 ways to love it with the new KFC 2 Originals. And brought to you in part by Verizon Wireless. And by Canon PowerShot digital cameras. Make every shot a power shot. Kansas had a 10-point run. Arizona has answered with 9 straight. And the Wildcats with a lead here in the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series. 2 games remaining, this game and then a battle Sunday night between Texas Tech and Stanford. And the only road win in this entire series was Baylor's win at Washington State. So it's a +1 right now for the Big 12. Jacobson, and it's stolen by Tyshawn Taylor.
Just tremendous focus. I'm impressed with Tyshawn Taylor denying Nick Wise the basketball, forcing someone else to initiate the offense for Arizona, which they are not accustomed to doing. The ball's normally in Nick Wise's hand in that position.
Yep, there's the flash inside against the zone. Markeith Morris breaks a 5-minute scoreless streak for Kansas. Now the challenge for Arizona ramps up a bit on offense with Chase Budinger out.
Yeah, Keith and Mook. That's the two guys there. But now Kansas, it looks to be like a boxing one, with the one guy being shadowed, Nick Wise, by Tyshawn Taylor. It really threw Arizona off in that possession.
Brady Morningstar, three-pointer. And for all the Chicago and Philly kids, you're Kansas. You've got to have some Kansas young men. And Brady Morningstar is one of them. His dad was a player on a Final Four team at Kansas.
An outstanding long-range shooter, Brady Morningstar. Got to get to him, contest on the perimeter.
Look at that. There are 3 shirts ran in, 3 blue shirts around Jordan Hill.
And once again, the defense of Kansas really keeping Arizona off balance. They're just having trouble.
Nice. There's a big flush by Alex Jacobson. I'm going to tell you something, Marcus. Like just 2 possessions, you can see Arizona is just not the same team without Budinger on the floor.
Yeah, and it's not so much the shooting and dominating the basketball, but just the attention that he commands out on the floor opens things up for other players. There's Arizona and their trapping defense.
Nice spot. Well, that's a good pass across the court from Cole Aldridge to Tyrell Reed.
When you get it to Aldridge, he attracts a couple of defenders. Now you've got Jordan Hill having to make that run from the paint all the way to the corner on the swing pass by Cole Aldridge. And that's one of the things Bill Self and his staff really pounded home at shoot-around this afternoon. Keep the ball moving, swing middle, swing weak side.
Jacobson's had a couple of key rebounds here. There's Horne active. And now it's Arizona screaming for a whistle that did not come. Wide open shot. Nick Wise back for Arizona. Wise has got a gear, and there are times when Nick Wise goes down. He doesn't slow down.
No, and Nick Wise, terrific game against Gonzaga, going against a great point guard in Jeremy Pargo. So now the challenges just keep coming. Like the hits, the challenges just keep coming. And he's got Sharon Collins tonight that he has to deal with, but more importantly, Tyshawn Taylor, who has to deal with Tyshawn, really doing a great job of keeping Nick from developing any kind of a rhythm.
Nick Wise, 13.6 points a game. He had a career high 21 points in Arizona's win over Gonzaga.
Nick lost the weight before last season, dropped about 20, 25 pounds, and cut back out on the sweets and really improved his quickness, his vertical lift, speed with the basketball in transition.
So now it looks like Wise is going to get a quick breather, heading a minute and a half to a break. So Russ Pendle's going to give Wise a little bit of a breather. Garland Judkins, a freshman guard out of Humble, Texas.
And a nice job of substituting by Russ Pendle. You bring back Chase Budinger, who can also be like a point forward. He can also initiate the offense. You sit Nick Wise down for a couple of minutes max.
Well, you figure, if you're Russ Pendle, you probably figure each guy may get 1 blow in the first half.
Yeah, but straight man-to-man defense by Arizona. Oh, there we go. Ooh. We saw that a lot. They love to do that. Penetrate, cut weak side hard to the basket, and just toss it up toward the rim. Rely on athleticism to catch and finish inside. We'll see that 4 or 5 times a game from Kansas.
Well, the shot chart's going to please Kansas right now. They have a lot of baskets at the basket. Judkins hits an open shot.
Garland Judkins, freshman out of Humble, Texas, started earlier this season, but attitude issues took him out of the lineup. Now he's back, learned his lesson.
Well, knocked out by Arizona's Budinger.
But penetration will kill you. You see, here's Morris right here. Penetration going to come right down the paint. Defenders step up, and that's going to leave the rim wide open. There's Jamelle Horne stepping up, leaving the backside wide open, but you can't allow Sharon Collins that easy a penetration coming down the middle of the lane.
St. Johnson back for Arizona. He's on Reed. Judkins playing Collins. Budinger has another freshman in the game, Travis Relaford, in for Kansas. Just got out of that trap, though, and Reed rattles it out. And we've got a crash foul on the rebound. Jordan Hill, I believe. It's only the second foul against Arizona.
Yeah, Jordan Hill, that's one of his issues. Staying on the floor, getting 30-plus minutes by staying out of foul trouble.
Played nearly 12 minutes, only 5 total fouls in the game. Three freshmen on the floor right now. Morris twins and Relaford, and the Morris twins are having a pretty good time of things inside. So Kansas up by 3. We'll come back to Pac-10 Hoops and let you know what you don't know about that picture. Pac-10 Hoops presented by KFC. Kansas leading Arizona by 3. All right, we've got a picture for you that I would bet you, first of all, haven't seen this picture before. I hadn't seen it until today. The 1983-84 Central Arkansas team, a Hall of Famer and a coach.
Yeah, you see Scottie Pippen right there. Chicago Bull great sidekick to Michael Jordan. And Russ Pennell, remember that team. He transferred from Arkansas, where he played for Eddie Sutton. And then went to Central Arkansas, was the starting point guard, and had himself a fine career at Central Arkansas.
Russ Pennell and Bill Self actually coached together. They were on the same staff for 2 seasons under Eddie Sutton at Oklahoma State. Russ Pennell was with Rob Evans at both Ole Miss and ASU. He was out of coaching last year and then called by Lute Olson to come back to the staff. And when all of the events took place in October and Lute Olson retired from coaching, Russ Pennell became the interim coach, and he sits next to his dad there on the bench. Marcus Morris makes the first shot for Kansas, and it's interesting. Dewey Pennell, a longtime coach himself, and he says, you know what's relaxing about this is that Russ is not auditioning. Yeah. He knows he's not going to get the job.
As he pulls a Steve Lavin-like rabbit out of his hat, gets his team into the Elite Haters Sweet 16 this year.
The Morris twins for Kansas, twin freshmen, identical twins that combine right now. Got 12 points and 7 rebounds.
And I'm liking the defensive focus of Morningstar and Taylor when he's on the floor against Nick Wise. But Morningstar doing a nice job. You know, we haven't said a lot about Chase Budinger offensively. It's because Morningstar is doing a great job of just shadowing him all over the floor. 0 points, Budinger, late clock, Arizona. Hill, air ball, and that'll be violation. You know, Chase, you're under the spotlight, so you better stay active, keep moving, because we are watching, buddy. We've got our eye on you, and there's Morningstar everywhere he goes. Every breath you take, every step you make, I'll be watching you. He is with him and not giving him any sniff of the basketball, but Chase does the wise thing. He's got a 4-inch height advantage. He's got an athletic advantage against Morningstar. He's got to find ways to score points other than catch and shoot jump shots, because that's not happening. Nice slip.
And the kick out, and Sharon Collins. First points for the junior, averages 18.
Yeah, Kansas, they do a great job of slipping big guys off picks. You go set a pick and you leave just a little early. Once your defender, that time Jordan Hill, starts to show or hedge a little bit to help out.
So Kansas now with a pushback has tied the largest lead. Deep three, you're seeing. Well, that's been about the best play right now for Arizona. They've done a nice job following.
Yeah, and Jamelle Horne has kind of been the guy inside. Knocked down a couple of jump shots, got a couple of follow shots. But once again, you'll live with that if you're Bill Self.
Hill defensive rebound. And Morningstar's miss.
The longer you can keep Jordan Hill from developing a rhythm, the tougher it will be for him to find one.
Boy, good position. Look at Horne again.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that lack of rhythm on the part of Jordan Hill. Now he's kind of rushing his shots. Now his confidence starting to suffer a little bit.
Marcus Morris back up.
Boy, these Morris twins, they are something else. Markeith and Marcus Morris out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 6'9", 6'9" and 6'8", athletic, active, and highly skilled.
This road trip thing's really bugging him so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, coming to Tucson, where the last year plus has been one of constant change here, and many of you know and are aware of these events that caused the coaching swing last year, where Kevin O'Neill was named the eventual successor, coached last season, got Arizona back to the NCAA tournament after a first-round loss. Just over a week later, Kevin O'Neill announced he was leaving. Lute was coming back. And then a week or so into practices, Lute Olson, health concerns that we finally discovered the true cause of, announcing his retirement. And Russ Pennell, the interim coach. Mike Dunlap, very highly regarded assistant coach, was the first man offered the job, but declined to take an interim position. Mike Dunlap is still here, and he is extremely important in coaching this Arizona team this year. Very involved with the players in the preparation.
Mike Dunlap, highly successful coach, won a national championship at Metro State in Denver, coached with George Karl with the Denver Nuggets for the past couple of years. I've got all his instructional tapes. I'm a big Dunlap guy.
Zane Johnson, that's Arizona needed a couple of shots like that to not let Kansas separate first half.
Well, once again, it's when you get two guys who do the bulk of the scoring like Budinger and Hill, you shut them off like Kansas has done. Obviously, if you're Arizona, you need somebody else to pick up the slack. Jamelle Horne has done a decent job. Now they've got to find that other scorer.
Baseline float doesn't go. Here comes Wise back. Wise will go. It doesn't matter. It's 1-on-2, 1-on-3. He's going.
That's a smart move. A smart move because he drew the foul, drew the contact. He saw he had Morningstar backpedaling on his heels, and you just attack his body and try and get to the free throw line and make sure that you're in a shooting motion once the contact is absorbed.
So Nick Wise, a junior from Houston, and that's when things change here in Arizona. One question that will, I think, be interesting to watch in the next couple of years. Arizona has, for a long time, done a great job recruiting Houston.
Yeah.
A lot of talent. And Josh Pastner was the assistant coach that was really was the pipeline into Houston basketball, and he left during that turmoil of the offseason to go to Memphis. Will that impact Arizona's connection there?
Nick Wise, one of the most successful high school basketball players in Texas high school history. Arizona now back to their zone defense. They'll trap when the opportunity presents itself, but again, Kansas prepared.
Exactly, Martin. It's just beautiful how they watch them flash to get that open foul line jump.
And that's what they stressed over and over again. But it came out of ball reversal, ball movement. You get the zone shifting. Now there's passing lanes, passing angles, gaps in that zone that you can exploit. Not going to be there initially, but once you get that zone moving, those alleyways open up. And again, Morningstar just all in Chase Budinger. What kind of gun does he choose? Juicy fruit, coach. Juicy fruit.
Nicely spin inside. So Jordan Hill has 6, but Marcus, I don't think Morningstar has been out of the game, except maybe when Budinger went up.
Yeah, that's a deliberate defensive tactic. As the bad pass by the freshman Taylor overthrows Morningstar.
And clean, only 2 turnovers each way. Brady Morningstar, a sophomore, 6'3", so he's spotting Budinger's size, but Chase Budinger without a point yet. He's 0 for 4, 1 rebound.
Chase thought about a post-up coming to the right box.
Would that be a good play?
Yeah, well, it just depends on how Kansas defends it. They're probably going to double team.
And Jamelle Horne wanted to rock that ball back and slam it. That allowed Kansas to react and block. Horne to the line when we come back. Pac-10 Hoops is brought to you by Interstate Batteries. Over 200,000 dealers nationwide. Find one at interstatebatteries.com. And by Best Buy. You happier. This is Lute and Bobby Olson court inside McKale Center. And Marcus, we just showed the timeline of what happened here. I still think as great an honor and tribute as you can pay to Lute Olson for his time here is what we're seeing here tonight. This crowd again, with no students, this atmosphere, big-time college basketball atmosphere, is solely the creation of what Lute Olson built here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The program was in disarray, to say the least, when he took over. And with he went to 24 straight NCAA tournaments, national championships, 4 Final Fours, a plethora of NBA star-level talent that he has recruited and developed. And he just always amazed me to just his ability to identify good wing players, guards. I mean, he just knew those great guards. Michael Dickerson, nobody really heard a lot about when he was at Federal Way High School outside of Seattle. And Gilbert Arenas out of the Valley in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles. I'd never heard of him. He came here and just became a superstar.
Jamelle Horne making one, and of course, much of what Lute Olson, the big picture here that people around the country may not know, as Morningstar gets that cross-court, Kansas just moving the ball beautifully, cross-court passing.
And don't discount the passing ability of Marcus Morris. Again, talking about highly skilled, 6'8", 225-pound freshman. He has done a great job of making the skip pass from the right side of the floor, finding open shooters on that left side once the zone shifts. And that's what you can do when you've got big guys who can move the basketball and who are skilled enough to make those quick decisions.
Nice pop in, and Hill uses the left hand.
And that's the one area that you can't give double-team help against Jordan Hill.
Just look what happened again. And now Kansas misfired the pass, but Marcus Morris beat Hill back down the floor.
Yeah, and that happened. That's happened once before in this game. When Jordan Hill was the guy shooting, he's got to get some protection at the other end. You got to cover for him until he can sprint back and get his body on Morris. That's a smart play by Bill Self in Kansas.
Just to finish that quick point again, what Lute Olson did here. Remember, he did a lot of that as a running start or walk. Was when UCLA was down. And a lot of people around the country may not remember or realize that. He built this program to the premier one out here.
Yeah, he did. But as we take a quick look at Chase under the spotlight, trying to post up. And we saw Daniel Hackett posting up last night, and that's a good tactic in the sense that, yeah, he's going to get double teamed, but Chase is a good enough passer where now you can run your offense through him in the post if he can touch the basketball. Morningstar is not allowing him to touch the basketball.
Do you look at Budinger as is he a capable post player on offense?
Decent. I mean, I haven't seen, honestly speaking, I haven't seen enough of him in the post
to
really know. You know, we'll see. There's that lob.
Collins kept it alive, fighting. It's Jordan Hill after Arizona.
Great job, Jordan Hill, by recognizing and reacting. More importantly, reacting to break up the lob.
And the crowd's reacting, Marcus, because they see it. You know, Kansas has had a couple of chances here to pull away, and Arizona's hanging. And that's a goal-10, so they're within one.
But a nice job by Nick Wise to be aggressive and attack. But Chase Budinger can't get frustrated. That last time he and Morningstar got their arms intertwined with each other, and a little extracurricular stuff going on. He's got to keep moving so that he can open things up for other guys.
So Kansas takes the timeout. Well, a full house, over 14,000 at the McKale Center in Tucson for a Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series, and battle with a lot of history. These two teams, Kansas and Arizona, have played in significant settings before. They played last year in Allen Fieldhouse in this series, an overtime game won by Kansas. And now the teams are a little different. Neither team ranked, Marcus. A little different angle here. Arizona with the uncertainty with the coaching. Kansas rebuilding. Retooling. I really should say rebuilding. You can see that twice they have played in the Sweet 16, once in the Elite 8.
Speaking of Kansas greatness, right there, Danny Manning.
Yes. Yeah.
And he has been on the staff for 6 years, second year as an assistant coach, and he does a great job working with the big guys and developing skill level, and they've got enough quality bigs in Aldridge and the Morris twins. He's got his work cut out for him, but he's doing a tremendous job.
I got to tell you something. This is the first road trip for Kansas this year. With all these freshmen, the first time they traveled. They came here Sunday. This is also part of the Fiesta Bowl week in Arizona. So last night there was a huge banquet. About 800 people attended. The players have all been given gifts. And the Kansas coaches have been trying to tell the freshmen, hey guys, when we go to Missouri or Oklahoma State, it's not going to be like this. Every road trip isn't like this.
All the hospitality.
And Aldridge gets fouled inside. Kansas, the road team, of course, wearing the blues, and Zane Johnson of Arizona.
And again, I know this
second foul.
No, this team is awful young. This Kansas team, you got the freshman Markieff Morris, and Cole Aldrich on the floor, the sophomore. But just I've been so impressed with their interior passing in general, but the big interior passing.
Now we're closing in on conference play, and this week our U.S. Bank Pac-10 Player of the Week is Cal's point guard Jerome Randall. And how big is that with new coach Mike Montgomery? If he can make Jerome Randall into a true, real good point guard, Cal could be a surprise team.
He has done it so far. He hit the shot against Utah, a little high screen action. He came off, knocked down about a 24-foot jump shot for the game winner. So Randall's playing better than I've ever seen him. You can attribute that to Mike Montgomery's direction.
Cal is 8-2. They have a win against UNLV and a win against Utah.
And that UNLV team that blasted Arizona by 15 the other day.
Hill on a good look put back with a tie, and it rolled off. Back quickly, Sharon Collins for Kansas. Cole Aldrich back in the game as the big man gets the touch. He's not had much action. Terrell Reed got himself free. And Morningstar with the weak side rebound.
Weak side rebound, kick out, reset the offense. Smart play by Morningstar.
Collins. Chase Budinger still has not scored. Arizona's leading man at 19 a game. Sets up Hill, though, for 2. And Arizona does tie.
And if you're Chase Budinger, you can contribute without having to score points. Now, they're going to need him to score. Trust me. To win this game, he's going to have to find a way to shake free and contribute offensively. But he's got to have the ball in his hands, maybe coming out of the backcourt. It's something that they'll look to do more of in the second half.
Arizona was down 8. They come back to tie it here at a minute to play in the half. Starting to get a little more active on defense. But Collins dishing inside, and Kansas has done that all half long.
Nice little shovel action on that pass by Sharon Collins, but a nice job, head up, pushing the ball up the floor. No pressure from Morningstar allows Chase to peruse what's going on in front of him, and a good job Jordan Hill to continue to run down the middle of the floor and avoid the offensive foul, just as importantly.
Jordan Hill with 10 points, 5 rebounds. He's averaging 18.5 points and 12 rebounds a game so far.
Stellar season for the big guy.
Big time improvement.
Atlanta, Georgia, Jordan Hill. You knew the athleticism was there watching him as a freshman. You just wondered whether or not the skill level would improve to how it's improved his junior year. And he surprised me just how good he's gotten. Footwork.
Keith Morris at the line. The Morris twins have been strong. Jamelle Horne, by the way, has 2 fouls for Arizona, and he's out now. West Penn will protect Horne. Wise out of control turnover. Collins, baseline. Marcus Wallace on the Hill picks up his second foul. So there's where the turnover really hurts, because in this helter-skelter play getting back, Jordan Hill picks up a foul Arizona would have really liked him to avoid.
Yeah, Nick Wise, like he did against UNLV, just trying to force things a little bit too much. Too deep penetration, too much of a crowd to try and get that pass through. These Morris twins, they are twins in every sense of the word, except one 6'8", Marcus 225, the other Marquise 6'9", 232. But the interesting thing about them, in the state championship game, Marcus made the game-winning shot against Aliquippa. And then in the city championship game against Simon Gratz, Marquise made the game-winning shot. So,
wow, they beat Simon Gratz. That was Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, spreading out the love.
Yeah. Final score studio update. Recaps the day and night. Big baseball signing. What a shock. The Yankees.
And speaking of Rasheed, Marquise Morris, that's who he patterned. That's a good guy for him to pattern his game after. It's Rasheed Wallace. Big man who could step out and do some things on the perimeter. Now Chase Budinger's got to stay engaged, got to stay active. This would be a good time for him to at least have some touches of the basketball. Trying to let him be the end. That's a good play. Let him get out top.
Yep, clear out the screen.
There it is. There's your jumper. There's your jumper. There's your jumper.
They're checking the clock, but he put that ball down a couple of times, and Kansas swatted. There's going to be a violation here. Kansas out with the ball. Taylor's bumped by Zane Johnson. Johnson comes up hobbling a bit.
And I thought Chase did not take what was available to him. Now I know he's playing the clock and trying to get that last shot of the half, but being in the position that he's in with the limited opportunities he's had, I thought he should have went on ahead and jacked that one up over Morris on the outside.
And again, the turnover. Second straight trip down the floor. That the turnover then causes a costly foul. That was Zane Johnson's third.
Arizona's lack of depth foul trouble is the one thing they can least afford.
1-and-1 here, Tyshawn Taylor. And Buttner will tip that out of bounds. It's going to stay with Kansas, I believe.
2-10, so it doesn't hurt you.
We're going to give that to Arizona.
No, 2-10 doesn't help them.
2-10 doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, all right. Michael Reed now. Yeah, Michael Reed corrected the call. That's the proper. That ball is clearly out of Chase Buttner. 2-10. Just cannot be a controlled shot.
Yeah, you can just slap it at the bucket. All you can do is throw it toward the rim and just slap at it.
Kind of like Charles Abo did for BYU Saturday, right?
Exactly.
Whoa, that came close. Marcus to Markieff Morris. He's a little stung there at the end of the half. So a very sharp first half of basketball. Really, for the most part, well played. Kansas comes to Tucson as a 3-point lead. Michaels with Bill Self.
All right, Bill, in that first half, a couple times you got some distance between yourself and Arizona, but they kept making a run to get back in the game.
Yeah, we didn't guard them as well as what I'd like, but we made some shots offensively, but we got to do a better job of taking the ball off the basket. We kind of live by the three-point shot that half.
Let me ask you this. This is your first real road test of the season. You're playing a lot of underclassmen. How do you think they're handling this hostile environment?
I think they did okay. I do. I think they did okay, and I'm sure the crowd will really be into it the second half.
All right, Bill, appreciate the time. Kansas Jayhawks leading right now 38-35 here at the McKale Center. We're coming back with more. After the break, it's the final score update. Some major news around Major League Baseball and some top scores in the college game as well. At the McKale Center, Kansas leading Arizona 38-35.
Begin in Tucson. Kansas up 3. Reaction from the Arizona coaching staff now as they go to Michael Eaves.
Yeah, Ted, I talked to Coach Russ Pennell, and he said the two major points of emphasis at the halftime for his squad was transition defense. He felt his team was getting beat down the floor too many times in that first half. And also in the half court, penetration was just too easy for Kansas, leading to wide open threes. The Jayhawks 6 of 13 from three-point range in that first half.
And that last point, Marcus, that bit Arizona last Saturday at UNLV.
Yes, it did, and especially in the person of Wink Adams, who came into that game shooting 18% from the three-point line, with 7, I think, of 12 from the three-point line in that game. Hit 7 trades against Arizona, so they've got to do a much better job.
How about that?
Nice.
Well, they get Aldrich going. The first basket for Cole Aldrich off the Sharon Collins feed.
And I'm loving that by Bill Self. I mean, your big guy comes in, hasn't had a whole lot of touches. You yank him out of the lineup after the first couple of minutes when he commits a not too bright foul. Start the second half, you go right to him.
Bill maneuvers inside, and Aldrich got the rebound. And Bill Self was talking today to people about that. He said, they think they need to get Aldrich more touches.
Yeah, and he's really improved, and now they're looking to go to him.
Well,
he facilitates.
What did I tell you about halftime? How about that? 2 good possessions, 5 quick Kansas points, and they've matched their biggest lead.
Yeah, and who's going to step into center stage between Collins and Chase Buttner?
Collins missing, and then Tyshawn Taylor follows in his foul. This is what we saw USC do to Georgia Tech last night.
Yeah, we did indeed, but just a great job here. Here's a big guy right here. Little pin. This is the key. Little pin of Jordan Hill by Morris to get him out of the play. You see that nice job, run up his back. If you're Markieff Morris, push him up the lane, open up some space on the backside, and just a great bit of execution on the part of Kansas.
Tyshawn Taylor, sometimes you're good and you're lucky, and sometimes you're both. As Jamelle Horne comes in off the bench for Arizona. Tyshawn Taylor coming out of St. Anthony's High School in New Jersey. He was going to Marquette. Yeah. He was signed at Marquette, but then when Tom Crean left to take the job at Indiana, Taylor was released and was a very late signee by Bill Self. And a lot of people believe he may end up, although the Morris twins are showing it tonight, that Taylor might be the best prize in that freshman class.
Already 2-time Big 12 Freshman of the Week. Last freshman from Kansas to do that, Brandon Rush, 2005.
Wise on the deck. That's going to be tied up. And possession will stay with Arizona. 9 straight Kansas points.
And Nick Wise is another guy, man. That's what talking to Curtis Townsend, the fine assistant coach from Kansas. They were really into trying to neutralize and nullify the big three from Arizona.
Yes.
Now, Jordan Hill has done a nice job, but Chase Budinger, Nick Wise, nothing.
There's Kyle Fogg shaking free. The freshman guard Fogg has his second basket. If you watched the Arizona-Gonzaga tape, Marcus, would you think that stopping Nick Wise might be the imperative part? If you can basically, that cuts the head off this team.
I mean, and the added benefit has also been doing the job by Morningstar, Brady Morningstar or Chase Budinger. But I mean, Nick Wise didn't play well against UNLV, and you see the outcome. Nick Wise fouled out of the game against
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, his team up 9. And they fall apart down the stretch. So Nick Wise, extremely important to what Arizona wants to do, because they don't really have a backup point guard that they have any faith in that can do anything positive for them.
Hill facing, long rebound, Morningstar. Markieff Morris of Kansas was whistled for that previous foul on the screen. Inside, Aldridge got free. Budinger rips down the rebound.
A lot of contact inside. But again, big to big, little high-low action on the part of Kansas.
Hill inside. Jamelle Horne. Jamelle Horne, this is as active. Certainly he's got to be as active a game as he's played in Arizona.
And once again, coming off the bench to start the second half after just a great performance in that first half. 5 offensive rebound. There's Jamelle once again. I'm in a stairway to heaven, and Cole Aldridge trying to clear things out. Got a piece of Cal, put Cal in a little bit of a fog.
Yes, swinging. Second foul on Fogg of Arizona. 2 team fouls. There's a screen foul on Aldridge. I think, Marcus, I've noticed, I don't know if you agree with me or not, the last few games in particular, you're really seeing that called much more.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're and that's the fault of Morningstar more than it is of Aldridge. He started his move before the big guy got a chance to get set, to set the screen. He's got to slow himself down a count or two before he makes his move off that screen. But that being said, that slip was there for Aldridge. We will see that play again, and if Arizona doesn't defend it better, Aldridge will get a dunk.
Nick Wise pulls up. That's 2.
More high on-ball screens out top from Arizona for Nick Wise and Chase Budinger, set by Jordan Hill. I think will open up things for the shooters and open up Hill on some rolls.
Morningstar got it off. Now Arizona trying to trigger it. Here comes Wise, but Jordan Hill! Kansas had 3 men back, but Jordan Hill ran right past him.
Ran past him, and as a good wide receiver would do, kind of got that inside lane and sealed the defender on his outside shoulder. And a great blind pass by Nick Wise on the inside. Nick Wise pushes it up the floor, going to push it to his right. Then take a look at the X-Mode. Watch Jordan Hill kind of sealing his defender, getting on his back, and the rest, piece of cake for the big man, throwing it down.
Marcus, we've seen already this year, Arizona, there are times when they seem to stumble and you think they may go away. This team's got a little fight.
Yeah, they're showing some resilience, but the guy that's got to really show the fight is Chase Budinger.
Yes.
I mean, you know, he's doing his Ralph Ellison deal, the invisible man, come out here and just kind of disappear in a game of this magnitude at home. The crowd's into it, and as you say, everybody else is battling. He's got to stay with it. Things will open up if he keeps in the proper mindset, because they're playing solid defense right now.
Kansas only had 3 turnovers in the first half, and that's 3 in the first 3.5 in the second.
Yeah, I just don't think Arizona, as well as they play, the way they battle back, they can win this thing unless Chase Budinger.
Oh, a great setup by Fogg, and then Horne chips in. 12 for Jamelle Horne.
Uses the right side of the backboard to kind of steady himself for the tip in. But once again, the three-point line, Ted.
Well, that's what a veteran player do. Sharon Collins with a silencer on the road. A dagger 3. I think we